What is up, everybody? This is the Insane One here, and this time I'll be doing a different video. I mean, this is still a Halo video, but it's gonna be something total, like something different. Instead of doing like actual multiplayer or campaign, this video is gonna be dedicated to the Forge and everything, because I'm gonna drop this video to today as like as best as I can. So pretty much it's gonna be, so pretty much this is the first video where it's like current me actually making a video and stuff like that. But like I said, since Forge drop, or since the winter update drops tomorrow for Halo Infinite, which would bring out Forge beta, co-op network, and what else is coming out? It's the Forge beta, co-op network, and campaign mission replays and stuff like that. And they're gonna be, and like there's gonna be like a 30 tier added to it. Some changes, two new maps. I think it's either, if I'm correct, it's either two new maps for Big Team Battle and two new maps for Slayer, or it's just one new map for Big Team Battle and one new map for Slayer, or one and then two, or one new map for one and two new maps for the other. If I'm correct, or maybe like I think, but if I'm correct, it's just one new map for one and one new map for the other, and everything like that, like how they did last time. But anyway, like I said, this video is just a strictly dedication towards all my Forge creations that I've created like in the past and everything like that for Halo 4 and for Halo 5. But even like, although the only ones that you're gonna see in this video is just Halo 5, is because when I tried to do Halo 4 videos, or I tried to do video with the Halo 4 forges that I've created on that game for the 360. But since the servers went down, if I'm correct, either early in the beginning of this year or near the ending of last year, the servers for Halo 4 went down and everything like that. So because it went down, so did all of the maps that I've created, as well as its game types and everything like that. And I didn't find that out till like yesterday and everything like that. And when I found that out, it literally everything everything literally just like shot me down with everything. I was like, I was just completely mind blown, because I thought my my custom games was going to be safe and stuff like that. I mean, because I know that you can't play multiplayer on them and everything, and I know that you can't really, and then they're like, there's nothing really to do except for like campaign or custom games and stuff like that. But at the same time, I thought Forge and stuff creations would be safe. But I guess that's still considered part, or I guess that's still part of whatchamacallit, the servers and everything. So yeah, like which kind of it hurt me a little bit when I saw all those were gone, like all of it, like completely wiped, as if I didn't do anything at all. So yeah, this one is just so I'm gonna use pretty much it's just, you're just gonna see three maps that I did on Halo 5, because I didn't really do much of Halo 5, because the only reason why I didn't do much of Halo 5 is because it like limited me from like space. Because Halo 4, I could have gone as far as I want. I could have even went through the map on for Halo 4. But for Halo 5, there's like a short box where I can barely even do much. So that's the reason. That's kind of took away my motivation from doing a lot of maps on Halo 5. But I still did. I mean, in total I did 5 maps, but you're only going to see 3, because 2 was just recreations of maps that other people did. But just so it won't be considered plagiarism for me, and I consider the fact, like, I mean, of course, I mean, yes, I did recreate the maps, but it wasn't my original idea. It was just me recreating their idea onto this, because before those maps didn't exist at the time in the beginning of Forge and all that. So I recreated it to do it, but I assume it's probably up now. So yeah, so we're finna jump on into the whole Forge creations. So starting off with the Forge for Halo 5 of my created maps, we are going with the Rapture. So pretty much the whole Rapture idea is, it's like it's a free-for-all Slayer, everything like that, and it's like the game type is strictly just snipers. So everybody's just using the UNSC snipers. I mean, like, sure, there are other maps. I mean, there are other weapons scattered around the map and everything for them to use. But like I have a building strictly for an armory and everything like that, where if I'm correct, I mean the only thing that's in the armory is just weapons. I didn't want to make, because it's already, because the way the whole map design is, I already have it where, because I have it where everything is super, well, not really that hard to see, but since I have like the wind blowing at a certain strength, it makes it hard to see, because like once again it's supposed to be a rapture. The world, that planet as you see is completely wiped of all life, except for you know the Spartans that landed, that dropped into the planet itself to start going ham on each other and everything. And so like, and how I designed the map, it's like built in a walled off city. Well, it's pretty small. I mean, if you like, when you really look at it, it's technically small. It has quite a few buildings, 3 or 4 major big buildings. One, as I said, is the armory. The second one is a parking garage. It's like a parking garage and everything like that, or not parking garage, but like a parking lot. The one that has like the levels and everything, which is where the intro cinematic started off, where it showed us, even though considering the fact that it was just me, but normally if it was people there, it'd show off however many people is supposed to be in it and stuff like that. And so like the way they can pretty much travel all around the map. I mean, even outside the gate, because I have it where they can leave the city. But to be honest, there's really no reason to go out there. I mean, I still made a creation. I mean, I still added things so that just in case if people wanted to walk out, they could see half of what's there. Because I do have destroyed bridges at the top, but of course they can't get up there, because if they jump on the down Pelican, they'll die from the burning and everything like that. So like, but like once again, I still, just in case, I mean, just so if people wanted to go into theater mode to zoom, to like see around, like, and get a good a better idea of what my map looks like. At the top, I did put some cars parked in traffic, and then leading to a pile of other like I would say abandoned cars piled in traffic, and then which leads to a tunnel full of which is blocked off by a whole bunch of flipped over cars, because you know everything got destroyed. Now I mean, like, see, like with the rapture, you could look at it with 2 ways. It could be looked at as, you know, the world was ending, because that was originally my idea. But now that I'm looking at it, it also looks like the planet got glassed by the Covenant and everything like that, which is why the wind is blowing heavy, because when the planets get glassed, it has that radiation. So everything that used to be once beautiful is now dry and glassed and full of just radiation and stuff like that, just flowing through the air. It's inhabitable at the time and everything like that. But in the air, I do have some pelicans escaping the planet. So you know, some people are getting off, or at least trying their best to get off the planet. And the way I did do some of the designs, some of the spawn areas are drop pods, which is where I have some of the Spartans spawn in at. So pretty much if someone spawns in front of a drop pod, that means they landed there. Other people spawning in the area was already there and stuff like that. And how I did it, 2 buildings, two roofs were caved in because of a drop pod. Because of drop pods, like in one building, I have the roof complete. There's a big hole with the roof like caved in, and a drop pod sitting at the bottom. That's how that one got there. And the other one is that another drop pod. Another roof was caved in in its corner, because that drop pod just landed at the top level and everything. To be honest, the way I could have made that, I could have had the top level also a little bit destroyed instead of it being flat. I mean, instead of it being perfectly fine. But hey, it is what it is. I was more so going for the design of the whole roof and everything like that being caved in. And then I have another building that got destroyed by a pelican crashing into it. So it's flipped over. I have 4 destroyed pelicans in total. So there's the one that destroyed the bridge to allow the people's exit out of town. There's the other one sitting on the rock. There's the third one in the building that I mentioned, and then there's the fourth one is in the airfield where the other pelicans were. So there's one pelican that got flipped over and destroyed, and there's other pelicans that haven't taken off yet or been in use because the people didn't make it to the pelican yet. So pretty much that's why the Spartans are fighting, because they're trying to get off the planet. Well, most of them are. The other ones are just, like I said, they dropped into the planet. Reasons for unknown. So and then there's like another building, which is where I keep where there's a mantis sitting in there, where somebody can have easy access. It's also it also has like some. To be honest, I don't remember what my idea was with the whole suits being there. If I'm correct, I think I was just using those as radiation protection suits. But once again, they're Spartans, so they're okay to be on the planet or on that in the area. And then I have another building that's like a garage. So there's warhogs and mongooses that they can drive around with. But mostly the map is technically But I've played the map with some people, and we've pretty much had a fun time. We never got a chance. I mean, there was only once out of like the 5 times we played the map. There was only one time where we actually completed the game, because once again, it's considering the fact that we're all using snipers, and it's a semi-big area, wide of range. It took a while for anybody to get a kill, because we're all sneaking around. Some of us were bold than the others. We'd be running around trying to see how good we are. Others will be in certain spots where they can see us, but it'll be a while before we can see them, because you could see them, because we were waiting for each other we were waiting for that one person to slip up and aim or zoom in with the sniper, because the sniper has it where that you can see the flashlight on the UNSC sniper, and if somebody was to aim with the Forerunner binary rifle, then it'll have a laser showing like a straight laser showing the indication of where they're at. So all we gotta do is just follow them there, and then just snipe, and then just take them out right then and there. So the map, but yeah, like the map design was pretty good. I really enjoyed I actually enjoyed my idea with the map, and then once again I did like Halo 5's the way they did, or the way they allowed us to create with our ideas, like expand with it. Because to be honest, because the Rapture was the first map on Halo 5 that I created, because normally it just turned out to be a test. I was just seeing what all I was able to do and what all I could add in. And when I was seeing that I can add like a whole bunch of dust with the piles of trash added into it, floating around, and then I could actually have it all blowing and then everything like that, and I can add dust to it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this to the next step. And then I started adding, and then like I took away the effect first, and then I started adding the buildings, making it damaged, and then I started adding the fire onto flipped cars and flipped pelicans, and then to just areas where just destruction. And then I started adding in vehicles for us to drive around or use as to our advantage on the map, because once again we're supposed to be called a mayhem. It's supposed to all rules don't apply on this world anymore. So everything. Only thing I didn't add was aircraft, because it'll be easy because it won't be really fair to whoever's in the aircraft. But then again, that's their fault for getting in the aircraft, because everybody would just take them out if they were in the aircraft and stuff like that. So it pretty much felt pointless to be it was pretty much to put an aircraft type of vehicle in that map, since nobody was going to use it at all. I mean, like, once again, they could use it to try to fly through something fast, but once again, as soon as we see them in the air, it's over with, because everybody's waiting for somebody to slip up on this map. But it's I did enjoy making this map, and then I added a destroyed billboard at certain times, so to like indicate once again more destruction. And there are certain parts where you can run on the walls of the map, or at least at the very top of the map, but because there were some people that was actually doing that, but they immediately got sniped off the wall, because they were easily able to be seen because of the bright light in the back that indicates where they're at and everything like that. So yeah, that map was one of my first maps that I created on Halo 5 Guardians and stuff like that. So that's the whole Rapture map. And now moving on to the second map. This one is like a remaster version from the map that I made on Halo 4, which is the Ring. Because on Halo 4, I would say the Ring map was my second or third map, most likely second map that I created on Halo 4. I just brought it back to Halo 5 because a lot of my friends really did enjoy this whole map and the whole idea of it. So pretty much the Ring, it's pretty simple. It's like a WWE type of thing, but everybody has energy swords, and we're all just jumping. Some people are fighting inside the ring, some people are fighting outside the ring. But like, the reason why I considered it a remaster is because the way I designed this on Halo 5 is actually more perfect than I did on Halo 4, because on Halo 4 there were some kind of lumps in the ring. Some people would bounce, or some people, like, you might get a little bounce in when you're running, and then the bounce might mess you up or might benefit you. It all depends. But some people, like the way it spawns in, or the way we spawn in, some people spawn inside the little tunnel, and some others spawn inside the ring. So and that's how. And like, literally, if there is people on this map, a whole bunch of mayhem will be caused on this map. You'll just see a lot of bodies everywhere. And the other part that makes it a remaster is because unlike Halo 4, in Halo 5 I was able to add a crowd to it. So that way you see a whole bunch of people. It's like they're cheering. The only difference is I didn't add any audio for it to sound like there's people like cheering for us, fighting and everything like that. But because in Halo 4 the whole stands is empty. There's really nothing there. But like, the thing I did keep still is the kill boundary. So like, so there's not people hiding behind the crowd trying to weasel their way out of a fight, or trying to make it easier for them to get the jump on somebody. So like, if you jump into the crowd, it kills you. And then like, because I want people to be in the fight, not hiding from the fight. I want them to be in it and start swinging on people and everything like that. So that's what happened. Because normally I would put a 10-second kill boundary, but people might use that. Once again, you will hide for 10 seconds and then jump out and then go back in and hide for 10 seconds again. But so I just turned the kill boundary into an instantaneous one. And so pretty much that's the Ring. It wasn't that much to explain for the Ring. It was just because it's a very small map. Can either use as a 1v1, 2v2, or like a whole free-for-all battle, like bloodbath and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the Ring. Now moving on to the third and final map that I've created on Halo 5. This one I really did enjoy a lot, because it was coming into when I was like getting used to how the whole things worked. But this time, like, I made this map because around this time 343 made an update for Forge for Halo 5 Guardians, where they added in some new things. So I wanted to see what type of new things they added in for Forge. And one of the newest things that they started adding was like audio cues and dead bodies. And so I took that and ran with it. Actually I made a mistake. This is not the final one. It's the third one. So that was my mistake. But because there's still another one. So technically in total I have 6 maps. It's just 4 was created with my original idea. So yeah, but anyway, going back into the explanation. So they added dead bodies into it, and so since they added dead bodies, I kind of turned to I forgot the name off the map. It's the facility. So technically, the facility is a flood style map, where how it all starts off, as you guys saw in the opening cinematic. Lightning beam shot down, and pretty much that's supposed to be an indication that the flood creature that was being held captive for research studies broke free from its capsule and wiped out the entire crew that was studying it or examining it, and it also wiped out their other studies. So like the aliens that's floating, that's because the aliens that also broke free and started getting into a fight with the other crews, and then but so pretty much the last one that was remaining was the main creature that was being held captive in the middle. So how we all start off is some people's we all start off on one side of the glass where we all just start to walk around the facility trying to survive the creature and everything, and when you walk past the glass, you'll see the capsule that was that the creature was that the creature was kept in for a while, and how it's all broken out and the creature's not in there anymore, and like you'll see them roaming around the facility looking for any survivors of in the building. And so we're pretty much like scattered, like once again, hiding or surviving. We have our shotguns, we have our assault rifles, and now they're in the basement. There is more weapons of access to choose from, but for some reason when I choose the flood game type, it won't be there. Or actually, I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on certain things. But yeah, most of the times it is there, and then there's just other times where the weapons aren't there, which is weird. But luckily for this, it was there, and everything like that. So yeah, there's weapons to choose from in the basement and everything. And like I said, how they added audio cues, or like not really, I wouldn't say audio cues, but they added where I can put audio. Well, actually, it was always there before because I had the audio there in the Rapture with the whole fan. But I think they added new audio so I used it here, and it was like I think the audio type was creature. So in certain hallways you'll hear certain screeches, and like to make it all more like very to add to the unsettling feel. So cause like because there's certain parts where if you just like stepping in the hallway, you'll hear like a creature screech from, it almost sound like it's coming from a far distance, and that's how I wanted it. Because some of them is creature far, creature close, or creature mid type of thing. So sometimes you'll hear, certain parts of the hallway you'll hear it as if it's like right next to you. Other parts you'll hear it as if it's like I would say 5 hallways down, or in the other parts it sound like it's like super, like it's close but not so close, and everything like that. Now, and I added a cafeteria where you'll see other dead bodies. There's like a dead elite who's leaning over the soda fountains, and then there's a human leaning under the table, and there's one human dead on the table and another elite dead on the table, and then I also have another room where it's a whole bunch of scattered elite and grunt dead bodies and stuff like that, as if the creature was piling up the bodies for later consumption. So pretty much the way I was doing with that one was how in Halo CE, when the flood was piling up the whole Covenant bodies to later infect them with the spiders. That's pretty much the idea I was doing when I did that for facility. So which kind of, and then, to be honest, the payout was perfect. It came out exactly how I wanted it to with that whole situation. And so like you could pretty much use that pile of dead bodies as a hiding spot, because there were times where I hid behind the bodies to see if it'll work. And then the person that was playing as a flood literally walked past the room and didn't know I was there and everything like that. And so I was like, oh shit, that actually works. And like I said, that's pretty cool. And then there's another, and then there are certain parts, the hallway does eventually bring you to where the flood's capsule was. And like if you like look closely at it, the glass is cracked. Now originally you won't see this in the intro or anywhere, because it literally happens at the start of the game. So pretty much, no, like originally the capsule was closed when I first placed it, but since I added the lightning effect, it actually breaks the capsule. And so that's why I used that as a reason for why I used that as the idea of the flood being inside that capsule or cryopod. And so now, since it's cracked because of the lightning, now I use it as the idea of, they get free, because once the flood spawns in, it's already cracked, meaning that they spawned in and they can roam around now. Now, if you do get too close to the lightning, it does kill you and everything like that. So if it's actually in a flood game type, you'll die and stuff, like you'll become one of the floods. So and then just imagine being the last man standing, and all the floods know where you are, but you don't know where they are. So there's a whole bunch of them coming at you through different layers of the hallways and stuff like that, and you're once again, you're by yourself, so you got to shoot your way to survive, and or maybe eventually die. Now there is a second floor I did add to it. The whole point of the second floor was just like either a hideout, but like the way I have it, you can look out the window to see the outside, to see how it's all designed and everything, like the way the facility works and stuff like that. Now, and also you can see the lightning that caused the you can't see it completely, but you can see a little bit of it, and like where it's hitting, to show how the flood is like escaped and everything like that. Now so the map that I'm using, or that I used for the facility, is the same map that the Rapture is on. So pretty much you guys can see what the map originally looks like without the whole fog aspect and everything like that, or effect and stuff like that. So you can actually see the whole the mountains clearly. The water is blue, and you can see that you can see just how actually bright and normal and like beautiful it actually is on the map, and how I turned that beautiful map into a world of just destruction and no life left and stuff like that. Now as far as why I didn't put dead bodies on the Rapture, is because once again, the dead bodies weren't always a thing. It was just added around the time, which is the reason why I made the facility. And I was gonna add dead bodies to the Rapture map. It's just that my the cost or the budget was maxed out, so I couldn't add dead bodies to it. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go without it. It didn't really matter and stuff like that. So so yeah, that was pretty much all of the Rapture and everything like that. So because I really, once in this map, I did have fun making this one. I did like how the idea was. I did like how the feel and everything felt like it was actually like you was actually playing a horror game, even though you was in Halo and everything. Because like I said, just imagine you're walking down the hallway and you just hear this noise and everything like that. And so like, and see, like if you're just hearing that, and you're by yourself, or like there's nobody around, and there's nobody around you and everything, because I take away the radar so that you can't see the flood coming around the corner. So like, so the only things you have the only things you have as your weapon is, of course, your gun and the sound of hearing the footsteps. But once again, you won't know if those footsteps are your allies' footsteps or the Flood's footsteps, like that's right behind you. And if it is the Flood's footsteps, it's too late, because they're right behind you and they got that lunge, unless you're quick on the draw with the shotgun. But sometimes there's certain times where you will kill each other and everything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how the facility works. And now moving on to, and now being the final video, or not video, but final map. This one is TW Industries, also known as Tectonic Warrior Industries. Now this map, it was pretty much just me. I pretty much created this map for Silver and everything like that, because around the time of Halo 5, he was forming his own gaming community called Tectonic Warriors, and which is why he also, originally back in the day, he went by the name of Tectonic Titan, because that was his one of his YouTube names and everything like that, until he changed it because he eventually steered away from the whole gaming community and everything like that. But see, me personally, I since we all got out of a gaming community, which was FTG, because we were part of that for a while. We were part of the Voltage clan, or Voltage squad. But me, Silver, Titanium, Scarface, Reek, who else? Iron. All of us was part of the Voltage squad. But we were the only crew left. So once we left, the Vulture squad died, so they lost that squad out of there and stuff like that, because our gaming community leader, he left, so we had no community leader and everything like that. So we all just left and everything. So then eventually, after a while, Silver forms Tectonic Warriors, and starts recruiting people into there. But me, I didn't want to join a gaming community because I was done with them. It was just annoying, showing up making sure I showed up every time, and being in uniform, and then having to take tests to rank up, or get promoted and stuff like that. And then there's certain times where if you want to become like squad leader or something else, like a higher level or like a higher rank, you had to actually change your name. And I wasn't paying $10 just to change my name to be dedicated to a gaming community that I knew I wasn't going to be part of for the rest of my life, and stuff like that. So instead of joining Tectonic Warriors, I agreed to pretty much form my own thing, which was to be their map maker and stuff like that. So pretty much what I did was Tectonic. So pretty much TW Industries is just a map strictly that was used for when Silver wanted to do meetings with the squads and everything like that. We'd have meetings. They can have meetings in the building, and then when the meetings are done, if people wanted to, they can just roam around and everything like that. So roam around and just fuck around and stuff like that. But so like of course, this first room that we spawn in is the meeting room, where everybody spawns in in front of a chair and stuff like that. And then once, like I said, when the meeting is done, they can go downstairs, taking the elevator, which is just a piston and stuff like that. They can take the elevator down, and the second floor is the shooting range, where they could test their range against all the enemies. Technically, they were dead bodies. I was just using them as shooting as like targets and stuff like that. Now I was planning on giving them all their ideal weapons, like the elites giving them the plasma caster, the grunts giving them the plasma pistol, and the jackals giving them either the carbine or like a beam rifle and stuff like that. But I was like, nah, it's just too much work, and it might take up too much of the budget and stuff like that. Because if I don't know if I'm thinking of Halo 4, but most likely I might be thinking of Halo 4, because the way some of the items worked, if you had there's limits for each item. So if you use all of the limits of that item, you can't spawn it in no more unless you discard one to get one back. But if I'm correct, I'm thinking of Halo 4's Forge, with that whole item limits and stuff like that, as well as a budget. found that idea to be ridiculous, because some of the good things had like tinier amounts and stuff like that. But so yeah, I just like disregarded the idea of giving the Dead Body Covenants weapons and stuff like that. And I did have a kill boundary, so that way people won't, like a 10-second kill boundary, so that way people won't be cheating to be going up close to the Covenants to act like they're pretend like they're getting kills and stuff like that, or getting in the way of other people's shots and stuff, like by stepping in the middle, being like dicks and shit. So everybody has like their weapons to choose from, and then they can just start target practicing. And I mean, the bodies don't disappear, they just stand there. You just know if you got a headshot or a body shot and crap like that. Now the third floor is a floor strictly of the armory. So as soon as they first enter the room, there's the Prophet's Bane energy sword that gives them invisibility and stuff like that. And once they have it out, and then then I have on the side of the wall, there's some equipment like invisibility, speed boost, overshield, or damage boost and stuff like that. Once again, I already said active camo, so never mind. And then then I have one side of UNSC weapons, and then on the wall is their special weapon, such as like the sniper, the UNSC sniper that has explosive rounds and stuff like that, and then like some other, or like the rocket launcher that has like 4 or 5 rounds in its socket, so you can keep shooting. You can shoot 5 missiles before you have to reload, stuff like that. And then all the other side is like the grenades and the Covenant weapons, as well as Promethean weapons, and then as well, and they also have their specials on their wall, like the gravity hammer, with the one that when you slam the gravity hammer, a sonic wave shoots at the enemy, or shoots at your opponent, damaging them or killing them, and depending on their health. And then they have its beam rifles and everything, and what is it? I think the plasma pistol that causes a black hole when you charge it up. That one's also on the wall as well. And then for the final floor, is the last floor. They got the soda machines, and then you can leave the building to where I have like a Pelican, as if we all flew there and everything, and to the meeting, and then we're gonna fly the Pelican back out to leave to go recruiting, or multiplayer, to do multiplayer and stuff like that. And then I have 2 shade turrets on each side, and that's pretty much just everything that's on the whole Tectonic Warrior or TW Industries map. Like I said, it wasn't supposed to be nothing really like special, like this, such as far as like how the other maps were, where we're actually all fighting each other. Like this map was just strictly for like meetings and everything, and it was just for Silver. But like I said, I just didn't feel like, I just never wanted to delete the map, even when he didn't want to do Tectonic Warriors anymore, because I kept the map, because either he wanted to change his mind and restart the group, or restart the community, and then also I just didn't want to delete it, because I already used up all the time to actually make this map, and I actually put a lot of detail into the map as well. It's not like I just it's not like I put a small box and put a small box with some tables and everything and called it a meeting and everything. Now if that was the case, I was like, yeah, I'll delete it, not give a shit. But I actually made a whole building with different floors. I actually put elevators, stairs, weapons, and actual everything else, the whole target system. I actually put the whole logo at the top, and I put a Pelican outside, and I put some shade turrets and stuff like that. I actually did, and I did the cinematic intro for that. I didn't do no outro for some reason, so it just ended. But yeah, that map I couldn't really go too far out which is once again one of the reasons why it keeps on bugging me with the whole limit. I wouldn't really say liminal space, but the whole limit width space that they give me, because that's a big field that I could literally use and everything like that. But apparently I can't do it because they limited me with the whole space, which is what made me not want to do Forge on Halo 5. So hopefully for Halo Infinite, we're not limited with space. Hopefully I can go as far as I wanted to. Because on Halo 4, the reason why I had a crap load of maps on Halo 4 is because I could go so far out, like it's ridiculous. Like I can go so high up, it's like I can do a lot. Because my favorite map on Halo 4 to create was Forge Island. I created so much on there. Like I created the ring. I created There Can Be Only One. I created Flood Pyres. I created Bad Santa. It was a lot of maps that I did on Halo 4. Once again, which is why it really hurt when I found out that they're all gone, because I really wish I could have showed you guys that, because There Can Be Only One was one of the top maps that a lot of my friends wanted to play, because it was like a racing game. It was a racing whole type of map where near the end, the ending type of part was like the idea that I used was from the ending of Halo 3, where we jump into the whole Forward Onto Dawn. Of course, me not knowing what Forward Onto Dawn looks like by heart, I just turned it into as if we were finna jump into like some weird looking style Pelican type of thing, because they didn't have Pelicans as a vehicle back in on Halo 4. So I just made my own type of weird looking Pelican. It doesn't even look like a Pelican. It's just like a box with wings. So but I still use that as an idea. So when we jumped into it, it teleports us into a small box where, like, because it was a King of the Hill type of racing game. So whoever, once you make it into the hill, you get 1 point. That's the end of that round. Because I think I had like 5 rounds. And then so we all just kept going again, and then because it wasn't, and like I had obstacles before we got to it. Like there was one obstacle where we all had to drive in there one on a line, like, and then there was like a 3 pathway where I had fusion coils dropping from the sky. If it hits our vehicle, it blasts us off the cliff, and everything like that. And then I had another area where we go through like some tunnel and stuff like that, and like for the tunnels had like certain parts where you have to drive carefully, because I did have some holes in certain floors, so if you fall through it, you fall through it. Now see, like the vehicle choices were Warhogs or Mongoose, and a lot of us chose Mongoose. But once again, it's the vehicles are limited. So if you didn't get a Mongoose, you have to drive a Warhog, a big ass Warhog, which makes the driving difficult. So but until someone dies with it, then that's when the Mongoose respawns. So if 2 people die and one had the Warhog and the other one had the Mongoose, you guys can once again fight over who gets the Mongoose and stuff like that. But that was that. And Flood Pyres, the way that map worked was it was pretty much how it sounds. It was flood style vampires. So the way I did it was a 10-second kill boundary for any spots that had sun in it. So the floods had to race. So it was pretty much like a group of two floods racing down to quickly get to the survivors. That was once again, this is on Forge Island, because I used all 3 islands, and so we all had to get to the middle island, because we start at the big island, then we make our way to the middle island, and then we make our way to the small island to get to the survivors and everything like that. So, and each time we're in the sun, the 10-second kill boundary starts, because it's as if the sun is killing us, and then we make our way to the shadow parts to restart the timer, so that way we won't die. Because if you step into the sun and you have like 5 seconds left and you step into the shadow and then you step back into the sun, it's still going to say 5 seconds because it's as if you didn't step out yet. So you got to give it some time to refresh. So of course, and then once we get to the island, we got to kill as much survivors as we can, you know, before they shoot us up. Because if we kill one survivor, because if we don't kill any survivors, we start back at the beginning and have to do the racing again while they're you know, surviving. Because the whole point is for them to survive and for us to convert them. So if we do get some kills, then they join us and they have to start the race to get to the other survivors that's still alive until it's the last man standing and stuff like that. And then because there was times where it'll be like 5 of us or like 7 of us in a match, and then like it'll be the last person standing, and that one person has to fight off against six floods coming for them. And then when that happens, it's like a whole old shit moment, because the only hiding spot that the survivors had was just a building and everything like that. But like the building didn't really have nothing, because I didn't want people hiding inside the building the entire time. I wanted them to actually be outside, because the whole point was to stop the floods from getting inside, from getting to you. And if you're standing outside, it's easy for you to do that. And now to make it easier for the flood still, the survivors only had shotguns, so that way they're not getting shot from a distance with DMRs or pistols or snipers and everything. So each I had it all balanced out perfectly. Since floods only have swords and only get to have to, you know, it's already an obstacle for the flood to get to the survivors with the 10-second kill boundary, and then, you know, them having to actually start from far distance to get to the survivors. I made sure that there was not a lot of places for the survivors to hide, or a lot of weapons choices for the survivors to use. They only had a shotgun and that was it. And they could pick up ammo off their fallen allies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what Flood Pirates was. And as you already saw for the ring on Halo 5, the ring on Halo 4 was just, you know, the ring and stuff and everything like that. And now the first map I did create, I forgot the name of the map, but it was the first map that I created. It wasn't, I used an already created map, because Forge Island was, I don't think Forge Island was out yet, and if it was a DLC, and I had to buy it, and I didn't have the money at the time to buy Forge Island. So I just turned a map into some kind of weird idea, because at first I was just fucking around with the whole Forge. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just putting things together, and somehow it turned into a map, and people actually liked it when we just played on it, because I was like, because they wanted me to create more maps like that. But like I said, to be honest, dude, I did this map by accident. I don't even know how I did this. I was putting things together, because as you can tell, I put a square block with a triangular block with a crane, and then a man cannon, and then some, like, would shot people into the air, and for some reason I had it where there was like a sniper tower, and then I had across the way was some small platform that looked like the buildings from Red vs. Blue and Blood Gulch. There was that building that was just that design, and because technically that's what the building, that's what originally was there. It was the 2 buildings that was like almost this shape of the Blood Gulch buildings, and then and then for the one side I just turned it into a big, large type of crane looking thing, and stuff like that. So that one pretty much had more air distance, or like high ground distance or advantages, while the other one just had like a more wider area like to hide from. And then there was the middle area where I pretty much just turned that into like a I did do some stuff, not too much, but I did do some stuff. I put some weapons and shit like that, and that was the first map I created. Like, once again, I can't even explain what I did, because I still don't know how I did it, but I wish you guys could have seen them all, because in the stuff that I named off weren't the only maps that I created. I just can't think of any other ones. Those are just the ones that I remember. For Bad Santa, once again, it was like, it was how it sounds. Survivors are inside of a house. Santa comes down a chimney. because I think they all start off on the roof. Like Santa and his elf starts off on the roof. Now like they don't have to just come straight down the chimney, because you don't want people spawn killing you like at the chimney and everything like that. So you can come to the front door, but of course you're gonna have to break down the front door because it's boarded up, and so because we're trying to keep Santa out. And if I'm correct, I had the chimney boarded up as well, so when Santa jumps down the chimney, he has to break through it. So that way they can't get, so that way it won't be an easy drop. So survivors gonna have to watch the door and watch the chimney. And if I'm correct, I had like a window boarded up, but of course its floods can't jump through the window. It's just if a survivor gets caught next to the window, they can get sliced up right there. So if they're not paying attention. So like that was how Bad Santa worked. It was pretty neat and fun. Now I did create a Plants vs Zombies type of game, but I didn't really care too much for that one, because it was like the way, because it was just hard for me to do it, because I had it, because once again, the survivors were the plants with the plasma pistols, and there was the zombies, and the other map that I created was Spartan Wars. Now that one, it was pretty neat how I did it, because each person ran off of a rock, started off on their sides, and they have to go to war. And the way I had it set up, I had like some man cannons shooting fusion coils, so because the fusion coils acted as the rocks. Because of course, now at first I did have rocks get shot out, but the rocks didn't despawn, and so which made it kind of it didn't feel like we had to dodge certain things. So instead I put fusion coils, so that way it can actually have a blast to it and actually have like some impact. Because even if the rock did hit a person, it damaged them, but not that much. But I wanted it to actually kill as a penalty for getting hit by it. So instead I had fusion coils where actually meant something to actually make people dodge for it. So that's the reason, and so that's how Spartan Wars worked. Once again, this is on Forge Island. So I pretty much just turned it into a whole idea for it to be just whatchamacallit, for like I actually wanted to make a war style type of game type, and that was actually dealt with swords and shit like that. And the other one, actually, then I just remember another one. The other one was neighborhood gone wild. So pretty much it starts off with it's kind of like how Rapture is. It's just less wind blowing and like everybody can see and everything like that. So how Neighborhood gone wild was everybody starts. Some people starts in the house, some people starts in and on the road, and there's like a whole bunch of houses that they can choose to be in, and each one has like power weapons. So it was almost like Fiesta, but it's not like Fiesta. And we're all just going ham on each other. We're just shooting here, shooting there, and then there's like a main building or main house that's like straight in the middle, almost like a rich person's house type of thing. And that's how that one was. But that's all I can remember for all those maps. But like there is a lot that I did enjoy being in, because there was actually a map that I created where we're inside the island and shit like that. I just forgot what it's called and what we were doing, but yeah, the whole point. But yeah, I just pretty much made this whole video was for the dedication of Forge, because I'm just excited for Halo Infinite's Forge and what I'm going to do there, or like all the type of things I'm going to do there. Now I will bring some maps back. Once again, I'll bring the ring back and everything like that, and I'll try to see if I can recreate There Can Be Only One, depending on how much space I'm given on the maps, because the way the Forge maps that I did see seem like it's gonna have a shit large amount of space. So I'll try to make some racing maps right there, and like when I do bring back There Can Be Only One, I'll add something more difficult, because the way things are and everything, it seems like it's gonna be fun as hell. and stuff like that. I just can't wait to bring some stuff back and or see what they can allow us to do. Because I've seen people make Doom style map and everything like that, and that was sick as hell. And I've seen somebody make a destroyed type of city on an already created type of map. And I saw somebody turn a map into like a whole office and shit like that. And I was like, oh, this seems like we're given a lot of opportunities. So I just pretty much can't wait for Halo Infinite's Forge and stuff like that, because I'll probably make a video where you guys get to see me actually create a map and see the outcome, see me test it and stuff like that. It's probably gonna be, I mean, the video's gonna be long, but when I edit it, I might make it, I'm probably make it short and everything. But yeah, so if you guys did enjoy me showing off my creations and things that I do when I have spare time and stuff like that, then you guys go ahead and leave a like and comment below, sharing thoughts what you did think of today's video. And like I said, it was just something new, showing you guys like what type of stuff that I created for my friends to have fun playing with, and like what made it, because they can't wait to see what I'm gonna do for Halo Infinite and stuff like that. Because you know, when we created maps, we had something to go to for custom games. I mean, of course we did play other custom games like Gladiator, Tank, and Fat Kid, Evil Cookies, Slenderman, and shit like that. But we still also did enjoy the maps that I created as well. So but yeah, like I said, I just wish you guys could have seen all the maps from Forge Island. I mean, because of course for MCC, I already knew my maps weren't going to get transferred over to MCC. I could have recreated the maps on MCC, but once again, I just don't remember how I did them. I just did them. I didn't even go into the map with an idea. I just started creating, and it turned into something, and I was still bouncing off of something with that something, and then I just turned it into something, and then it became that thing, and I just named it off with each thing. Oh shit, my Xbox turned off. Somehow still recording. But yeah, until then, peace out.